In front of me is the iFootage Shark Slider S1, and it is perhaps the most hyped up camera slider here on YouTube. I say that because it seems like every major tech reviewer and every big photography videography channel uses this thing and advertises the hell out of it. So that being said, there are plenty of in-depth, really detailed videos on this slider, so I won't be getting too much into it. I'll be giving you a quick overview, but this video would be more about, is it worth it? And is it worth the hype? The Shark Slider S1 is 31 inches long, but if you get it in the bundle, it comes with extra extension rails and a long drive belt, extending the slider an additional 25 inches, making it 47 inches in total. This slider has a 15-pound payload and 11 pounds if you use the extra extensions. The Shark Slider is constructed of carbon fiber and aluminum and does include a padded carrying case. The special thing about the slider is that it comes with a flywheel and of course is belt driven, which makes the whole system extra smooth. I have to say that in terms of design, this slider is quite jaw-dropping. Pulling it out of the carrying bag for the first time, I was quite amazed. Coming from a cheaper Amazon slider, there is really no comparison at all. It seemed like everything from the carbon fiber tubing to the aluminum base plate, the ends, the flywheel, the belt, the spindles, everything just seemed so perfect. But of course, everything isn't always as it seems. You can't really judge a book by its cover. And at the end of the day, this slider is, to me, far from perfect. Like I said, the hype on this slider is very real. There are a lot of YouTubers using this, and they, like I said, they really praise it. And even I bought into it. That's really why I bought this slider, because there were so many good reviews on it. And everybody recommended it, saying that how it was so smooth and like it was flawless, like I was saying. But in my experience, coming from, like I said, using a cheap slider, there was kind of an expectation, you know, like just to come into a professional grade slider, a slider that costs so much more money that every time you use it, you're going to get smooth slides and you're going to get perfect pans and everything. But that simply is not the case. What I've learned from owning this slider is that even though, no doubt, this slider is so much more capable than the slider that I've previously been using, it's just that it will not give you perfect slides every time. You will still have to work for those slides. And I'll include clips in this review showing you that there are times where I simply do not get perfect slides. This slider optimizes your chance of getting a better, smoother slide. But like I said, you're still going to have to work for it. It's not going to come easy. If you look at my footage, at times there are still inconsistent speeds and just somewhat of a jitter. I've seen reviews where people have complained about putting the extension rods on and it just simply isn't perfect because they screw in with one another. So in a slider, you kind of have to have a perfect seamless connection. I mean, because the bearings are pretty much riding on this tubing, and if the tubing is jagged or misaligned or anything like that, you're gonna get some jitter. In my case, that wasn't my problem. I think my problem is somewhere within the belt, because it seems like at a certain point of the belt, when I move this base plate, the plate itself would like jitter, and it's just like it'll go, stop, and then it'll start again. So like there's some imperfection somewhere in here. I just haven't figured out where, and it's kind of inconsistent because it'll happen sometimes and sometimes it wouldn't. Sometimes it'll happen from right to left, but going left to right, it wouldn't happen. I'm going to try to put the mic real close to this, but there is some rubbing. I don't know if you can hear that. But the slider is definitely rubbing on something. I mean, just visually looking at it right now, it doesn't seem to be causing any problem, but that could very well be why I'm experiencing that inconsistent and jittery slides. It's hard to say whether or not the slider is worth it, because like I said, this slider will give you or optimize your chance of getting a better, smoother slide. Just don't think that you're going to get it just by putting your camera on and start whipping it around. You're still going to have to work for those slides. I think only you can determine whether or not that's worth it. To me, I would say yes. This is the type of slider that will last you a lifetime if you take care of it. And if you can get over the little quirks of it, it's an amazing product. I'm going to tell you something though. If you really truly want smooth slides that's kind of takes no effort, really what you're going to have to do is buy a motor. There's a video on YouTube showing how to use a $99 time-lapse motor and attach it to any slider and pretty much motorize any slider you want. To me, that $100 is a lot more worth it than buying a shark slider or any other multi-$100,000 slider. Unless you attach a motor onto one of these sliders, well, I don't want to say you have to, but I would say that most of the time, unless you have a motor, there is going to be some inconsistency in your slides. Most people might not recognize it, but I would say that if you nitpick and really watch the footage, it will be there. Of course, you can get a motor for this slider too. You can go for that cheap $100 motor that I was talking about, or you can go for the official iFootage motor, which costs, I believe, $1,500. There is a lot of add-ons that you can get for this slider, and it equates to over, I think, $3,000 if you want to get everything. So I mean, I guess that's a benefit of going with this slider, that you can always add on and mod it to get better results. But for me, I'm probably never going to buy those extra add-ons, or at least the extra iFootage branded add-ons. I'll probably just go for that cheap mode that I was saying, and we'll make a video on that later on for you guys. But that was all my opinion. Like I said, only you can determine the value or the worthiness of this slider. So just take everything I said into consideration and make a wise buying decision. I hope this video has helped you guys out. If you liked it, share, give me a thumbs up, comment down below with any questions, and I'll see you guys in the next video.